Okay, one quick random note. I don't have it here to show, but I did get Ryu and Lucas as DLC for both Smash Bros. Wii U and 3DS. And of course, if you get Ryu, I believe that does include his stage. So yeah, I don't have it to show, but you're gonna have to, just take my word for it. Just please take my word for it. But hey, it's cool to see Ryu in Smash Bros. I mean, makes sense because he's character originating from a fighting game series. So, how about that shit? Anyways, that out of the way, let's get on to the other things. And there's a little more than that, but I'll save those remaining two for last. Here we have Asteroids on the PS1. Now, you might be wondering, why did I get this? Well, fun fact, this is now my 30th PlayStation 1 game. Awesome, am I right? This was kind of a time when, companies were, taking old arcade games from the 70s or the early 80s and just giving them a revamp, just revamping them like this, like they did with a Frogger and Q*bert, which I actually have right here. Here's Q*bert and here's Frogger, and there's Strider too, but that's not an arcade revamp like those two, at least. Oh, you know what I mean. Anyways, back to the topic. I got this because, I'm starting to grow a little more of an appreciation towards Asteroids, especially during the summer. And I have the Atari 2600 version, but the thing is about that version is, I recently heard stuff about, how it's kind of inferior for the fact that the asteroids don't move all over the place like they did in the arcade version, so in many ways it's actually a lot easier. And also, people minorly complain about how the asteroids in that version are in color, which I couldn't give less of a fuck. In fact, if anything, that's a welcome addition, but hey. I got this anyways because, of course, it includes, it's a revamped version of Asteroids. It's a more fleshed out adventure, I want to say. And, of course, it includes the original Asteroids game. So, this is, I guess, pretty much the best Asteroids experience out there, really, so yeah. Okay, next up, I got Star Fox Command for the DS. I got this because with that recent bunch of, PS1 and Dreamcast games I got, I was able to trade in a double of Sonic Shuffle and a double of Soul Calibur, along with a Dreamcast controller, and I trade that into a local game store, and I was able to get this. Granted, I know one might say that's a ripoff, because you traded in, three games. I traded in a Toy Story 2 for the PS1. That wasn't a double, that was just in such horrible shape I didn't want it. But yeah, I traded in 3 games and a controller, and I got this. Well, they were selling this for about $30, and hey, it's cool to own because I really like the Star Fox series, even though I really should own all of them. I'm only missing Star Fox 64 and Star Fox 64 3D at this point. I guess you could also say Star Fox 2, but I actually did beat Star Fox 2 on an emulator, though, because, that game was never released. Anyways, back on topic, Star Fox Command is a pretty interesting game. It does borrow a lot of elements from Star Fox 2, with the whole strategy and whatnot. I haven't got very far in this, because I remember having a lot, and I mean a lot of trouble with, the first mission. It was I was feeling fucking stupid. It's come on, I can't really get past this. And eventually I did, but, since then I've kind of taken a small break on this. But, from my little experience, I like this, to be honest, I don't really think there's a bad a legit, real bad Star Fox game. I mean, of course, people might, give shit to Star Fox Adventures, because, it's not a traditional Star Fox game, but it's still, as a game itself, is really fucking good. But, yeah. This is, it's a fine game. It works well, of course. It's safe to say that nothing's really gonna beat Star Fox 64. But, still a nice little game. I liked it. Okay. Mario Party Island Tour. Yes, I know this game did come out in, what was it, November 2013? So, yeah, I probably should have got this way sooner, way before now, but, hey. Finally saved up the money and got this little game. I was actually kind of afraid like, for the longest time that this was going to be discontinued, because this game, like I said, came out in late 2013. It's now late 2015. And of course, Nintendo, like, recently has been really, really, really fucking shitty when it comes to keeping their games in stock, because, along with Amiibos, of course, but some of their games are, like, just flat-out discontinued. Like, you can't find at a retail store no matter what. You might find it used, but, like Pikmin 3... and like Game & Wario are discontinued, and now Pikmin 3 is going for fucking like $80 on eBay. And also, there's like Kid Icarus Uprising, and like even Star Fox 64 3D is like, you know, been discontinued. And like, I was afraid that this was gonna fall the victim. Also, you know, stuff like Paper Mario Sticker Star and Mario Tennis Open were discontinued. In fact, hell, something as recent as, you know, Mario Golf World Tour, which was released last year, is now discontinued. At least for me, I can't find Mario Golf World Tour. So I was like, fuck it, I gotta get this right away. I would've got it sooner, but, you know, hey, shit happened. But I might as well talk about the game. Game itself, it's good, you know. It's a little better than I thought, because this didn't get that very good reviews, but the thing is about it is that it has some unique concepts, but sometimes they just need to be, like, fleshed out better, like the Bowser board and the Kamek board. Those are cool, because I like how the Bowser board, you have to stay away from, you have to stay the furthest away from Bowser. You know, like, basically, if you're first getting to the end, you know, you essentially lose. I like that. And I like the little multiple pathways that, and just the card system, and just the way that the Kamek board worked. But, of course, a lot of times, this game just feels kind of rushed. Like, there are some concepts, you know, that could have been better. I mean, it's definitely a lot better than Mario Party Advance, that's for sure. But, you know, again, just some things could have been, like, executed better. The minigames are, you know, fun as always. In fact, if there's one thing that will always seem to remain consistently good about Mario Party, is the minigames, you know. They're really good in this. Graphically, it's also, you know, pretty damn good. And Bowser Tower is a very interesting sort of mode, but, you know, hey, it's really fucking frustrating because there really is no proper ending to Bowser's Tower, or Bowser Tower, I don't remember how the hell it was called. But yeah, Mario Party Island Tour, I kind of like it. It's not a bad game. There's definitely far worse out there. Okay, Solar Eclipse on the Sega Saturn. This took a while for me to get. This is a game I got because at the end of GameSack's review of the Sega Saturn, Dave, I think it was playing, you know, played this. He was like, oh, I can't believe Joe didn't talk about this game. What an idiot. And he showed off gameplay. I'm like, holy shit, this actually looks really cool. So yeah, I've been after this game for almost a year. But of course, like I mentioned in the last episode, there's of course that, you know, problem on eBay with shipping. And yeah, it's, you know, extended gratefully. I mean, it's extended by quite a bit, that problem, because of course, you know, these big ass cases. So yeah, this took a bit of some time to save up for, but hey, I finally got Solar Eclipse. What it is, it's a shooter, like, you can see right there, it's kind of like Star Fox. I want to say this is Sega's answer to Star Fox, but, you know, Sega didn't make it, Crystal Dynamics did. It's also got these interesting, you know, cutscenes going on here. A full motion video, yeah, except, you know, there's actual, like, gameplay, not like QTEs, like, you know, shit like Time Gal. Well, the Time Gal looks intriguing. Anyways, back on topic. It's a very, very cool game. I'd say this is, without a doubt, like, a hidden gem for the Saturn. It's also cheap, you know, so you really should get this. This is a really... It's great. It's a great little hidden gem and a nice little treat, I will say that. And it's also nice to finally have another North American Saturn game. Okay, now I'm going to devote the rest of the video to this game right here. Tales of Vesperia for the Xbox 360. Holy fucking shit. This game is awesome. It's a game I've been after for almost like a year now, because last year I was kind of like, you know what, let's try out a modern RPG. And then I, you know, lowered it down to 7th generation consoles before eventually landing on the Xbox 360. And in late summer of 2014... I got Eternal Sonata. And also in 2014, summer 2014, I wanted to get this, but yeah, I had a hard as fuck time getting this last year, and I still did this year. Like, I called pretty much every EB Games in my area, They didn't have that. I even called like retro game stores. There was one that had it for like $30, but I was like, you know, I can do a little better. So unfortunately I had to buy this off of eBay. And yeah, I've actually owned this since August 17th, and this game is fucking awesome, like I said before. It's just such a lovable, you know, kind of game. You know, I've had it for almost 2 months now, and I've put 75 hours into this. You know, that's just like, you know, yeah, so I've pretty much almost, you know, beaten it. And it's just, everything's likable about it. The music, the graphics, the character, and especially the story. Like, I like this more than Eternal Sonata right here. And in some ways, in very, like, minimal ways, I can see, like, comparisons. For one, Bandai Namco. Bandai Namco published this, and I'm pretty sure Bandai Namco developed this, or at least had a lot more to do with Eternal Sonata, because Tri-Crescendo, I believe it's called, developed this. But there's some, like, there's some things that, like, you know, intrigue me. Like, the character in Eternal Sonata, Allegretto, right here, if this fucking camera will focus. Okay, you know what, just look up the cover art yourself. But he, like, the voice actor for Allegretto, also does the voice of Flynn Scifo in this game. And there's also, like, you know, a character called Alexei in this game. And there's a character called Jazz in this game. They're both voiced by the same guy, D.C. Douglas. And it's crazy because, you know, Jazz is my favorite character in Eternal Sonata. You know, just character-wise and, you know, just gameplay-wise, I just think he's the best character. And Jazz is a protagonist in this game. And I think Alexei is, like, a really threatening, you know, antagonist in this game. Is like, wow, you know, just, that's kind of weird. And, you know, there's this, like, character. There's like, two minor antagonists in this game that their fate is similar. For one, they both die, you know, by killing themselves, essentially. In Eternal Sonata, it's Tuba, and in Tales of Vesperia, it's Barbos. The thing that's interesting about them is they're both, like, kind of, you know, like, round, like, chubby, small, you know, guys that, you know, while they have minor appearances, they do affect the story. They did affect the story quite a bit in some way or another. So it's like, wow, the fucking similarities are there. But of course, you know, not really, because the story's different, the characters are different. Of course, you know, there's a lot of differences, but there's some similarities I wanted to point out. And the things I love about this game, you know, is just, like, the battle system. Like, the battle system is fucking awesome. It doesn't feel, like, slow-paced. The action keeps on going, and it's just fun as hell to play. And I just, you know, like, love the story and all that, you know. Like, Yuri is a pretty cool character, although he looks like a girl in the front cover. I mean, you know, like, on the back and stuff, and when you actually play the game, it's a little more understandable. But, you know, when I first saw this, like, a year ago, I'm like, is that a girl? But I guess not. And, you know, I played this a lot with my, you know, buddy Jason. He enjoyed it too, you know. Raven, he's a pretty cool character, you know. I like how with Raven he said, "Hooray for the old man," you know, when he levels up, and it's really cool. It was funny as fuck too. Unfortunately, it doesn't say that anymore because victory quotes do change in this game. And, you know, just, yeah, just a lot of things so well done with this. I do have, like, one kind of I do have one complaint with this, is the battle themes, how they change. The first battle theme in this game is called Furnace of War, and it is fucking awesome. But then it changes to another battle theme for, like, at least, like, 60% of the game, or at least a lot more of the game than, you know, the first and the third battle theme. And the second battle theme, it's not good. It's not good at all. It's underwhelming, it's not very well constructed, and it's really fucking annoying to listen to, especially for a lot of the game. Recently, I got to the point where they changed it. You know, that point where the Autophagos is released by Alexei, and, you know, Yuri and them gotta, you know, fix the world, save it, and all that other shit. But, you know, other than that, like, those minor complaints, this is a fucking excellent game. And, you know, I'm not really even into, like, the Tales games, you know? I mean, I considered getting Tales of Symphonia because, you know, I'm such a GameCube freak, and, you know, that's a really, like, beloved game on the GameCube. But, you know, like, goddamn, this was a fucking excellent surprise, and it really, you know, made a lot of, like, the last few days of summer 2015 just awesome, and it's still, you know, awesome currently, right now. So yeah, Tales of Vesperia, fucking, you know, great stuff. Great stuff.